Hi friends, here is a simple problem on period. The period of sine square theta is what? Okay, there are two ways of looking at this problem. One is solving by the algebraic way, the other is understanding the graph of sine square theta. Okay, so let us understand the graph of sine square theta. Sine theta we know. Sine theta graph is this blue line, right? So the graph will repeat itself after every 2 pi, 2 pi period. Okay, 2 pi is around roughly 6.2, right? So pi is roughly 3.1. This is pi. This is 2 pi. At pi by 2 it is 1. At 3 pi by 2 it is minus 1. This is sine graph, the blue one. Right. Now sine square theta. Sine square theta. What does that mean? That is square of this blue one. Okay. So sine theta goes from 0 to 1. 0 square is 0. 1 square is 1. Okay. Now between 0 and 1, it can be zero point 0.2, zero point 0.3, zero point 0.4, zero point 0.5, whatever. It's zero point 0.2 square, let's say. Zero point 0.2 square is lesser than zero point 0.2, right? Zero point 0.2 square is lesser than zero point 0.2. 0.3 is 0.2. 0.2. 0.3 square is also lesser than zero point 0.3. Okay. Similarly, so whatever is less than 1, the square of that number is lesser than that number. So that's why the graph will be something like this. The red one. Red one is sine square theta. Whatever value of sine theta, if you square that, obviously that value would be below the original value. Okay, so and at 1 square is anyway equal to 1. So the graph would be something like this. Okay, and the negative ones, the negative part of sine theta. Then this negative part of sine theta, when you square it, it will become positive. Okay, it will become positive, and the value of that would be equal to this thing. So, for example, zero point 0.5 square is equal to minus zero point 0.5 square. Right. So, whatever zero point 0.5 that we have here, whatever minus zero point 0.5 that we have here, both the square of that would be same, would be positive. So, basically, in sine square theta, there is no negative curve, negative part of the curve. There will be only be positive part of the curve. So now we can clearly see once you square, all the negative parts will go up. I mean, now negative part will get inverted, and the curve would be similar to this one only, the positive part of the sine square curve. Okay, so now we can clearly see this graph is repeating itself after every pi. Okay, so the period is actually pi. The red graph, which is sine square theta, is repeating itself after every pi period, after every pi units. Okay, we can clearly see that, right? When you once you square, the negative part will go up, and then it doesn't matter whether it is zero point 0.5 or minus zero point 0.5. Still the square of the one will still be the same. Okay, so this is one way of looking at this problem. The other is algebraic way. What is sine square theta? Sine square theta we know is equal to 1 minus cos 2 theta by 2. Right. So we know cos A plus B. How do we get this? Cos A plus B is cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. Cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. Why? How did we get this? Okay. We're seeing how did we get this equation. Once we make B equal to A, then this becomes A and B are same. Then cos 2A equals cos square A minus cos A into cos A minus sin A into sin A. Sin square A. We are replacing B with A. Okay. This is nothing but 1 minus sine square A. Cos square A, we can write it as 1 minus sine square A minus sine square A, which is nothing but 1 minus 2 sine square A. Okay. So cos 2 theta is equal to 1 minus 2 sine square A. That means 2 sine square A is equal to 1 minus cos 2A. That means sine square A is equal to 1 minus cos 2A by 2. Okay. That is this equation. Sine square theta equal to 1 minus cos 2 theta by 2. Okay. Which is nothing but half minus cos 2 theta by 2. Okay. So what is the period of this one now? Period of this one is equal to period of this one. Cos theta period is 2 pi. Cos 2 theta period should be 2 pi by 2, which is nothing but pi. So this is the algebraic way. So what is cos theta? The cos 2 theta is compressing the graph of cos theta by a factor of 2. Right. Obviously, the period will also go by half. Earlier, the period was 2 pi, and cos 2 theta, the cos theta period is pi. If it is 2 theta, it should be 2 pi by 2. That should be equal to pi. Right. This is the algebraic way. Whichever way you choose is depending on our convenience. Right, guys? We are just converting sine square theta into something of cos theta. We are just removing the square and getting into a normal function. Right, guys?